Well, we are back with the Xavier Builds podcast. This is where we talk all things building, the good, the bad, and everything we can do better. My goal is simple, to give real insight into construction, to sit down with designers, builders, tradies, suppliers, anyone connected to this industry or just passionate about what they do, and share their stories, their challenges, and their wins. Because let's be honest, construction isn't easy. It's tough, it's unpredictable, and sometimes it can feel like everything is against you. But it's also one of the most rewarding industries there is. And when it's done right, it is awesome to work in. That's what this podcast is all about. Talking about what works, what doesn't, and how we can all do better. Having real conversations, not corporate ones. Breaking down the barriers between builders, clients, and the system, and finding a better way forward together. I love hearing people's stories, I love this industry, and I love seeing people passionate about what they do. Look, before we jump in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, leave a review, share it with a mate. It really helps get these conversations out there and keeps the momentum going. All right, let's jump into it. Welcome back to the Xavier Builds podcast. Today, I'm joined by Chris from Ontop Homes. Chris, really good to have you here, mate.
Thanks for having me, mate. Really excited to be here.
Let's jump straight into it. Give me your story. Where'd you start? How'd you get into construction?
Geez, it was back in school. I was good at woodwork, I guess you'd say. I remember in high school, it was year 9, we had to build a picture frame out of timber, and I just fell in love with it. So progressed from there, really.
So you went into carpentry off the bat, or?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, I left school year 10, so wasn't for me. So Dad gave me the ultimatum. It's either you're studying something or you're going into building.
Or you're at work making money.
So I finished on a Friday, went to work on the Monday.
Perfect. And just been hit the ground running since then, has it?
Pretty much, yeah. Dad owned a business in construction, but we were doing colorbond sheds, colorbond fencing, and I was studying carpentry. I was the only one studying carpentry at the time, sort of in my family, and rolled on from there.
That's a pretty common story in construction that, you know, school doesn't sort of fit you and then you just jump straight into being on the tools. Why do you reckon that is?
Oh, look, I believe it's just some people would rather be hands-on, outside. You know, an office isn't for me. I can't do an office, and a lot of people would be the same.
Yeah, I think the value of working with your hands, being outside, actually having to think about what you're doing, and at the end of the day, you're seeing what you built. Like that for me is what was so attractive and what I really enjoyed.
Yeah, look, it's job satisfaction. I love the job satisfaction. So,
what were those first days on site like?
Loved it.
Loved it?
I loved it. It made me grow up real quick
Yeah.
because I was, oh God, what am I going back now? That was 2011, 2010. So I was 15 when I started my first year, and everybody on site would have been 18. So
Good crew.
Yeah, that would
have been fun.
That became my mateship around there, and I just thought this is the best. So we had a deal with the school. Wasn't so much an ASBA, but we had a deal. I had a day off a week and went to work. So,
yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And so with you, you're working with your dad. Is he the one that taught you work ethic and get stuck in?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my old man, he's very hardworking. He had a couple failed businesses prior. So did my mum. They actually went broke once, so it taught us quite a lot of lessons. And I was only with him for 1 year, and then they moved down to the coast, the south coast. And luckily I had my missus now, my wife now, my missus at the time, and she, her parents said, move in with us and you can keep your job kind of thing. And I got another job with a young crew who did a lot of DHA around Canberra. And I learnt a lot off them. That was where I finished my apprenticeship.
So you had to grow up very, very quickly then. You're 16 with a job, in with the missus.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, how good.
Yeah, it was
baptism of fire.
Yeah, it cost a lot of money on a minimum wage, trust me.
Yeah, I bet. Because that's when apprentice wages were probably very low. I remember my first pay was like $420 a week.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 380. I can't remember.
I was 325.
325.
Yeah, 325.
You're really working for your money back then, aren't you?
Oh, mate, when the stupid me, I bought a nice car and I thought, I'd afford this.
Yeah.
It drained all my money.
Drained all your money. You make all those good mistakes real early on.
Yeah, we all do it.
Yeah. You got to have that flash you.
Yeah.
You know,
that's how it was.
In miles and miles of debt. Make all the mistakes early.
That's it. Yeah.
And then Ontop Homes. So how long, tell me about Ontop Homes. How long have you been going for? What was the first job like? And how's the evolution been there? Because I've seen you pop up. I've seen a little bit of your stuff probably over the last year, I reckon.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. Look, social media presence has really helped us, but I think I've done it now 10 years. So I started the company as early as I can. I was 18 at the time. As soon as I could get an BN. I did. And I sort of fell into it. I always wanted to start a business, but going back to my dad was in construction. He lost that business, didn't lose it, but he quit that business that he was doing to get a job on wages, and it was for a roofing company in Canberra, and he was a general manager, if you want to call it that. And I particularly remember it was a Saturday. We went to a job site in Wright, and I just went along with him just for a drive for the day. And the foreman for that site said to my dad, we're going to do these roofs, and we're looking for a chippy. And my dad said, my son's a carpenter. And he said, do you run a business? I didn't at the time. I said, yeah, I do. And lo and behold, we were there the next week. I had to start the business in a week, get it done, and we just started working.
Off you went.
Off we went.
Perfect.
Landed on our feet, luckily.
That's good.
That's where that started. Yeah.
And what was that first job like?
Yeah, it was crazy. I learned a lot about money, invoicing, not getting paid, time management. But it was good. It was just all cut frames on a unit site. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Another baptism of fire.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. The first year was nuts.
Yeah. Do you think that's the best way to do it? Just jump in and have a crack?
Yeah. Just go straight in the deep end. Just jump in, have a crack. And if you're going to succeed, then you will if you give it a hard crack.
You will?
Yeah.
Has there been any times where you thought this is just too much?
All the time.
All the time?
I still think it today. All the time, yeah.
What was, tell me about some of the tough times. Like what are you dealing with at the moment?
Oh, mate, employees was hard, managing them, managing subbies. A lot of the times, yourself, you're kind of babysitting a lot, which is good. You are a mentor for all of them. So that got a little bit too much, especially I think being young. And I had a lot of older fellas coming to me.
Talking down to you.
Yeah, and just sort of taking advantage of it, especially builders, supervisors back then.
Yeah, don't worry, young fella. It'll be right. I fucking hate that.
Pretty much. That's how it was. It's exactly.
No, I want it done like this because of these reasons. And
Yeah.
the more you explain it, it's like the more that they don't listen sometimes.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm just getting rapid fire from everyone. You should do it this way. You should do it that way. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to do it my way. So
tell me about your business now. What do you do?
So we build custom homes, but mainly we build spec homes. So I'll build for myself and my wife, friends, family, and I'll sell the house. So I'll either live in it or rent it out or something like that, and just sell them straight away.
And that's all around Canberra, Googong?
Mainly Googong, yeah.
Mainly Googong?
Yeah, it is. We are Canberra based or Googong based, but we do in Canberra. But the rules in Canberra are really difficult. So Googong, nice and easy.
Yeah. Talk to me about those rules. Like, do you mean the site constraints or just the way to get approvals through?
Basically both, yeah. The way to get approvals through New South Wales is 10 times easier. The way to obtain a block. To be honest, we fell into it with New South Wales because our first home had better grants for New South Wales first home buyers compared to ACT. So we decided Googong's the place, and then it just sort of snowballed effect.
Googong has exploded. Like it's such a success story, I think. And, it's its own little community out there, which I really like.
Yeah.
I really love it around Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone seems to get into it out there.
Boogong.
Boogong, that's it, yeah. And I look at that and I think, why can't we have that in Canberra? Like, why do we have to have a little sort of satellite suburb on the outskirts of Canberra that is so successful and so cool?
Yeah. Oh, you should see the traffic at Halloween though.
Is it?
Oh, you can't get in. Yeah, you can't get in. You've got to put a little dirt track around the side.
But isn't that like the sign of a good community though?
It is, yeah.
Yeah,
we're rapidly growing and everyone there is really friendly. You know your neighbours. It's one of those places that you'd see on TV.
Yeah.
In your classic American films. Everyone's walking down the street waving at everyone. It's much like that.
But I have heard from a lot of builders that it is easy to build out there and, the blocks are a decent size.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a benefit.
There is a bit of rock out there.
There is a
bit of blue rock, but it is.
I've experienced the rock.
Yeah. But for building in the regulations and approvals, it's a lot easier than ACT.
Yeah. Nice, and there's some good flat bits throughout there too.
Yeah, that's what we tend to stick to.
Yeah.
Nice and flat.
Yeah.
Nice and quick.
I saw, so one of your posts you did last year was where a light bulb went up for me and I saw that you said it was a house to completion. I think it was in 10 weeks. And there was a stack of comments under there. Tell me about your process around this 10-week, 12-week build.
Yeah.
We spoke on the phone. You've got the record.
Yeah.
What's your record?
8 weeks is our record from a 4-beddy, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage, site cut to handover. 8 weeks. That's our record.
That's going.
Yeah, it's humming when you think about it. But look, it's not something that I ever sort of wanted to get into. I didn't want to be, the quickest builder, nothing like that. But if you know Neil Hipwell, Future Flip, he does duplexes in Sydney. They used to do, I think it was a 12 to 16 week sort of time frame.
Yep.
And I wanted to sort of achieve that in a house. So that's where I really aimed for. It just fell in. We started the site cut and just organisation kicked in, and day after day we're getting moving, and then it just got to about the 4th week and I went, this is going pretty quick. And then we ended up finishing in 8, and then we did the next house, the next one, and it was all 10 to 16 weeks.
So talk to me about that process. Is that just being organised? Would you say that that's the main thing? Or is that having good trades, or is that what are all the factors that go into?
I'd say everything has to come together. Everything from trades, suppliers, organisation from me, my wife, everything in the background's got to work. Selections have got to be done, and it's got to work where selections, you're not importing something from Italy. You got to have something that's readily available.
Beaumont, Amber.
Yeah, Riverland.
Riverland.
Yeah.
Good to go.
So all those guys, they're generally pretty good. I'll give them a couple of weeks notice, heads up, this is what's happening. And they'll get some selections done for us, and they'll generally order it pretty quickly for me. And then I know when I'm going to be ready for it a couple of weeks out. So.
Yeah, bang, the order's ready to go, sitting in the warehouse. I need it on this day, turns up, boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom.
But when it comes to organisation, I know those little details that do take longer. Like a concreter might take a little bit longer, so I got to call him a month before, or
Check the weather every day.
Yeah, a panel door, roller door, they all take 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So kitchen takes a while. It's stone top, so we got to really push it to be organised early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that though, and it does show that if you're organised, you can get a build done quickly, because they're talking now that the average build is taking 15 to 17 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And you're here and you're organised, and you're getting from site cut to lock up in 8 to 12 weeks. Like that, in my mind, and when I was an apprentice, it was always 12 weeks. 3-bedroom, double garage, standard house type thing, 12 weeks.
Yeah. Look, a big one for me is I do all my carpentry on all the houses because I am a carpenter by trade. So when it comes to carpentry, I design the houses to be carpentry minded. I'm not saying weatherboard, but we'll do like a polystyrene foam on the outside, and that gets rendered instead of waiting for a bricklayer to do their brickwork. And I'll do cut frames. We'll do trusses, and then once the roof's on, I'm pre-sheeting. So, and it's me, generally just me. I might get a couple of helpers in every now and again, but it's just me. So yeah, we're at lockup by at least 2 weeks, minimum 2 weeks.
And because you're on site and you're doing the frames and you're very hands-on, your quality is assured, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I'm also most of the time living in that house that I'm going to sell. So yeah, it's got to be good. Yeah.
And do you love it?
I do. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I am obsessed with it.
And how long has it taken you to get to where you are now? Like, when did you start actually building homes and get this sort of roll on going?
Well, yeah, look, I left contract carpentry 5 years ago, and we've done one home a year. So for myself, and then I've just picked up clients along the way. But for these quick builds, about 5 years.
Yeah. Bit of a road to get there, obviously, and a lot of lessons learned on the way.
Oh, yeah, a lot of lessons learned. Yeah. Money's a big factor. Managing all this money and turning it over, managing banks, relationships. Yeah.
A lot of time on the phone.
Lots of time on the phone. Yeah, definitely.
And why did you call your business Ontop Homes? Where did that come from?
Well, going back to when I started the business at 18, I had a logo in my head to start with, didn't actually have a name. I had a logo, and it was O-N, and then the T was like a roof of the house. Yeah. And then O-P. And I just thought, on top works.
On top.
And then a bit of an ego back then. I just wanted to be on top. Yeah. That's where it came from, but I can't change it now because it's a bit of a brand.
So, definitely. I like it. Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's short and sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on top, I think it fits the brand in that you're pumping out some really nice homes.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Yeah. I've thought about changing it multiple times in the last 6 months, but people know it.
People do know it.
Yeah.
Who's your ideal client? Like, who are you looking for to work with? You were saying you build your own homes, and then sell them, but
I've got one now. Actually, I'm doing an extension for this lovely lady, and she's been great. So she's just someone that just listens. That's just an ideal client. You're in construction, you're the builder. It's her selections, her choice. But when it comes to this won't work because of this reason, she's very, very good with that.
So the trust factor is big.
Yeah, and communication. Yeah. We're big on communication, at least daily updates.
Yep. Yeah. And do you do that by WhatsApp or emails, text messages, phone calls, or all of them?
All of them. Well, we don't have WhatsApp, but it's emails or phone calls, mainly phone calls. I like talking to people. I'm not good at text messaging.
Me either. I'm terrible at that.
Yeah.
Like I read the message and then I like mentally reply and then I'm like,
Yeah. I get in trouble when I get home because I don't reply.
Yeah.
But I've replied in my head.
My wife will send me message. I'll have all messages from the day. I'm like, I'll call her on the way home.
Yeah. I thought I replied to all them. Yeah. That's how I get it. Yeah.
I was busy today. I'm sorry. You're busy every day.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. Communication to clients is really, really important.
Yeah.
And I think the trust from the client is also another big factor there. Like they've selected you for a reason, and I feel like some clients, they might not understand the build very much and then they'll start to question certain things, which is okay, but it's still having that trust in you've picked the right person, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's what I look for is just someone that's a bit more open and where they're not the builder. They don't want to run it themselves in that instance. So they just put a lot of trust into you as the builder to do their own house with what they're visioning. That's what I like.
Yeah. Give me the broad strokes and I'll work on the detail and then I'll fill you in on all the in between.
Yeah, like this client now, she's actually she's good with computers, so she sent me a lot of like AI sort of designs where she'll take a photo of the property and AI will design a look and she'll say, here's what I want it to look like. And for me as a builder, I look at it and go, that's great, sweet.
That is
Let's
good.
achieve that. And that's where we are.
Technology has really come so far. Yeah. Like we've got the same thing with potential clients. We'll say, can you send us a photo of your area and give us a bit of a description on what you want?
Yeah.
And there was the funny one that the other week, like she sends it through and it's got a massive gorilla sitting on the deck.
Yeah.
We're like, we can't add the gorilla in, but we can do everything else.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
What do you think that separates you from other builders that are sort of getting around? What's your point of difference? Obviously, you can build really quickly and you're very organised, but what else have you got?
Oh, I think it's personally me. I'll be on site. You got my mobile number. We're not like a guild builder. So you call me. I've had phone calls 9 o'clock at night, midnight, first thing in the morning, 5 in the morning from clients, and I'm always answering. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit more personal. I think it's a personal relationship that I form with these clients.
Yeah.
Separates us from your normal residential builders.
Mm. And you like operating that way?
I do, yeah. Like I treat every job as if it's mine, my house. It has to be, for quality or how I want it to run with the trades.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
I wish more builders would take that, approach.
Yeah.
You see some horror stories. There doesn't seem to be heaps of horror stories out of Canberra, but on a current affair, you're seeing Sydney and Melbourne and Queensland. There's just, we were talking briefly about the TikTok inspector before we jumped on here, and you see some instances, and you're just like, I can't think in my mind like how a builder could get to that spot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see some absolute like dog's breakfast. The roof doesn't work. They haven't flashed things properly, and you're just like, why?
Yeah.
It's
like even when I was doing contract carpentry, some of the builders, they're never to be seen. You just don't see them. They won't come on site. You'll speak to the foreman, which I suppose that's why they're there. But, the builder's just nowhere to be seen, and you try to get a hold of him, no answer, nothing. So I didn't want to be like that. I really wanted to be that personal builder.
hands-on.
Yeah, just more of a partner.
For sure.
Yeah.
In my mind, I feel like the best builders are the ones that, have a trade background, that have sort of gone through that, gone through becoming a tradesman or a craftsman.
Yeah.
They know about detail. They know about the importance of preparation.
Yeah.
These fundamental things that you learn being a carpenter or being a concreter even.
Yeah.
Or a bricklayer, these kinds of things.
Yeah, I can go on a tangent, mate, about what I think about builders that didn't go through a trade.
Let's go on a tangent. What do you think about them?
Mate, I've seen, as a contract carpenter throughout Canberra especially, I've just seen so many builders that are just, I know where they didn't study something to get a license. They might have gone to uni to get the license instead of go through the, Cert 4, Cert 3, or actually just minimal hands-on site on how to build. There's a book will tell you how to build, but I believe you should be able to be on site and physically doing something to be able to build. So, yeah, I've dealt with a lot of builders that it seems like they bought their license. Inverted commas.
Inverted commas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a few builders that have bought their license.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Look, some may be good. I'm, it depends who they hire, I guess. There's nothing wrong with owning a business, hiring the right people, supervisors, foremen that are builders, and they get shit done. But
yeah. I think building at a higher level is project management. You're managing all the different trades and you're managing this and you're managing that. I think there are two different types of builders. There's one on site, the hands-on that has that trade background, and there's the other one that's the more technical and this is how it is done by the book. But this one here I feel is at a disadvantage in that, they might be really good at systems and project management and things like that, but the on-site knowledge of how things actually go together and, how you can't have a carpenter on site at the same time as the concreters because the concrete, or you can't have the concreters on site at the same time as the bricklayers, all these kinds of things.
Yeah, I used to get it all the time where those builders they'd ask me as the chippy, what's next? What am I doing next? Well, I don't know. Have you ordered brickwork? Well, get your roof on? I don't, And then when you get that on-site experience from a builder that came from that trade background, it's sort of a given. They know what to do. Yeah. So they're running it smoothly.
Yeah. And you can talk to them on the same level, I find. Yeah. Because they know how things go together.
Yeah. Or you get, their, what should I do here? What is your house? What would you like me to do here? Where they would say, do it like this. The other builders, they'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, that makes it difficult if you're, they're doing frames. I've had a couple of instances with the set down in the garage, doesn't line up properly, doesn't this, doesn't that. And the builder's like, I don't care what you do. And it's like, well, this is going to affect how you're going to, sheet the garage or how your hallway next to the garage is going to work, or your kitchen over the back of the garage generally is going to function properly.
It's like you're teaching them something.
Yeah. There's definitely some gaps there that need to be filled in. Yeah. Do you think and this is my problem a little bit with the licensing situation, you can't, I guess, be a carpenter, like it's not like a direct, you get your carpentry thing, then you work a little bit, and then you can't just go and apply for a builder's license. It doesn't work like that. You got to go get your Cert 4. Yeah. And then they want you to be a builder before you've actually.
Yeah, which is very difficult. Like
it is.
It is hard because, when you do the sign-off process, you got to, I think I had to have 3,600 hours.
Yeah.
From memory. And there was a certain amount of hours prior to obtaining the Cert 4.
Yeah.
And then after as well.
It can't be later than 5 years.
Yeah.
This is in the ACT.
Yeah.
It can't be later than 5 years, so you have to have that time within 5 years. It's got to be 2 years after you've finished your Cert 4. Like, there's all these things in there.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they want you to be a builder before you're even a builder.
Yeah,
I think
that's
is the difficult thing.
Yeah.
And essentially you're asking the person you're working for to sign you off to essentially then become their competition.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's where I find it very difficult because if you've worked for a builder for a while and you're, say, managing a few of the builds for this builder and then you go to him and say, I want to be signed off as a builder, straight away alarm bells are going to go off there. And if you're not working for the right person, they're just going to go, I'm not signing you off.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. That's how it is.
And then you've either got to pay the money and say, I want to be signed off, you need to do this, or you've got to go and fudge it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Probably most people do. We don't know.
We don't know.
No. But then you got to do the test, when you go in for the test. And it's really not that hard. If you know anything about building, it's not that hard. My test anyway. I heard they're changing it. Like they're sort of fluctuating so we don't go back to site and say, these are your answers.
Did you have to do a panel? Did you have the interview with the panel?
Yeah.
Do you think all this stuff is good? Like, do you reckon it's cutting out the people that need to be cut out?
Oh, for sure. But I mean, at the same time, if you can't get that, you shouldn't be building, mate.
Yeah, true.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know if I can swear, sorry.
You can.
Okay.
You can.
But if you're in that, if you can't get that right, I don't think you should be obtaining a license anyway. Yeah. Because it's common sense.
It's not an unclimbable mountain is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's not that hard. The questions were really easy. I remember one of my questions was, there's 8 doors in a house that are normal height, 2040 high. How many hinges do you order as a builder?
Right.
There should be 2 hinges per door. Right.
Correct.
And that's it. That was one of the questions. And it's comprehension. They give you the answer.
Right.
With a book on your left.
When I got I didn't have to do the test when I got my license. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Did you go ACT first?
I went ACT first.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
There you go. And then, it just takes such a long time as well.
Yeah.
I think it was 3 months back when I did it.
Yeah.
And then maybe longer.
Yeah.
And then New South Wales was like, I think 4 or 5 just for them to do the recognition across there.
Yeah, the mutual recognition.
Yeah.
I was pretty quick, luckily, with New South Wales, but ACT took me about the same.
Yeah.
But then you had to, I thought that was it. Let's go. I'm building, but then you had to get home warranty. And
Homeowners warranty. That's the trap.
that is the biggest trap.
Yeah. So it's not, you get your builder's license. That's like the minor hurdle, and then homeowners warranty. So explain homeowners warranty for people that don't understand it.
Yeah, so HBCF, homeowners warranty, it's something that will tie to your license as a builder. And it's, for me anyway, it's a sum that I'm covered for per capita, so 12 months. That will give me a coverage of, like mine's about 3.3 million. I'm happy to say it. And I can build anything up to 3.3 million, whether it's, 4 jobs at 500,000, whatever the sums may be, I'm capped at that. And then you also get per job is, you're capped at 600,000 per job, whatever it may be, but you have to apply for that with, the underwriter. So they'll give you a coverage. And then once you've done that, you get accepted for that. You can start building under that. Yeah. Yeah.
So you've got, in your instance, $3.3 million worth of work that you can do in a 12-month period.
Yep.
So that's 6 builds at 500,000, maybe a little bit over.
That's right.
And that's all you can do.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't that interesting? Like, imagine if you're in a different industry and they said you can only do this amount of work. We're only guaranteed, that's what you can do. You're capped at that.
Yeah. Well, you're limited to turnover, right? That's it. But then that's New South Wales, ACT. We also have our separate home warranty there and under that license.
And then everything is tied back into your own assets.
Yeah.
And your financial stability, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when I applied for it, owner's warranty, I was 25 at the time, and they looked at everything. Like they were applying. I was applying for a home loan essentially. They looked at absolutely everything. I had my previous history with accounts and credit cards, car loans, and I didn't actually have enough capital in the business. And they said you need to inject over $100,000 just to obtain any sort of home warranty. So I scrounged around for 6 months of anybody who owed me money, and I got that $100,000. It went in. I sent it to them. I had to buy shares in my own company, extra shares. For people that don't know, when you do a company, most people buy one share, right? That's how it works, and you own the company. I'd buy $102,000 worth of shares, and then they covered me. So, I don't know if it was an age thing. I don't know, a risk factor for them maybe. But I was 25 at the time, and
And you need to jump over that hurdle to start building for anyone, because that homeowner's warranty, you obviously need to provide that to the homeowner when you're doing a build. And what that covers is if you go insolvent, if you go missing, if something happens, the homeowner is covered.
Yeah, for sure. And look, and it's I had it actually on my socials. It's a bit of a problem that I've got as well that I only learnt recently, that a lot of trades out there, there's actually a minimal price in New South Wales and ACT. I think ACT is $12,000 for minimal contract work, whether it's structural or not. And I think New South Wales is $20,000.
Correct.
Anything over that, you should have homeowner's warranty. So if you're doing a bathroom renovation where you're moving plumbing or walls that are structural, you need to have that homeowner's warranty, and a lot of them don't.
They do.
And then,
you're exactly right.
Yeah, and then when I come in or a builder comes in to do an extension on that home, on the other side of the house, but that bathroom renovation is already done, we actually have to sign that bathroom renovation off, but we don't know who's done the work. So I've heard there's people getting fined at the moment, maybe in Queensland somewhere, for not having that.
That's the difficult part when you're a builder that's doing the right things, and there's these other guys out there that aren't doing the right things.
Yeah.
Namely homeowners warranty insurance. It leaves you at a disadvantage because you're putting a quote in that includes all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And they're putting a quote in that doesn't. Obviously, it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
But the homeowner doesn't realise that they're not covered with homeowners warranty.
No, but I think it's an education thing. There's not enough education around that. I was a victim of that when I was younger. I thought, let's get in there, let's do some work. Not realising you actually need that legally to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely a trap. And part of the reason why I originally went into Dex and McGoll's was that, I was 21 and they wouldn't give it to me, homeowners warranty initially. So I needed to get in the ACT. If you're doing class 10, you don't need to have homeowners warranty.
No.
In New South Wales, over 20,000, you do. What doesn't matter what class it is, you do need to have a homeowners warranty.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you're into it. essentially. But yeah, if you're doing structural alterations in the ACT over the value of 12,500, you need to have homeowners warranty.
That's right, yeah.
And that comes out of that pool we were just talking about as well.
Yeah, that's right, which essentially means a builder's license at the same time.
Yep.
You know, and signed off, you need certificates for waterproofing, as an example, if you're doing bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you think builders are undercharging?
Well, no, yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
The good builders?
The good builders, I wouldn't say undercharging, but their profit margin's slim. So to me, I reckon we're sort of similar in the pricing range from what I've seen anyway in my experience, but material would cost so much one day and not enough the next day. So it's just it's a percentage of a profit margin that shrinks a lot. A lot of builders, they have the capacity to make 2% profit, 3% profit. I can't do that.
No.
No.
Yeah.
10.
It seems to be, yeah, that I'm feeling that there's a race to the bottom a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
And these big volume builders, they can punch out these homes because they've got the big deals with these suppliers that are, you know, want to deal in volume.
You can't compete with that.
You definitely can't.
You can't compete with that. Like I was a supervisor for a big company, and I knew the prices of material back then, and I'm going back 6-7 years. I did a brief period there of 2 months, going back to, you know, would I ever quit this?
Yeah.
I gave it a go of doing something else, and yeah, literally, no, I can't compete with that material today. Even the suppliers say, mate, that's not happening. I can't.
Yeah.
So
The margins aren't there for them, and
yeah.
they don't have that. Yeah.
It's the quantity that they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just shifting, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of sticks of timber or bricks or whatever it might be.
Yeah, not to say I don't get deals. Every builder should sort of get their own little deal with who they're working with and shop around, but yeah, nothing like that. So when I say undercharging, yeah, I'd say most builders like myself are sort of like, we're not undercharging, but they are. But those big guild builders, I wouldn't say undercharging. They're just making.
They're making what they make.
They make what they make because they can make that. So.
It's horses for courses too. I think, you know, there's always going to be those people in the market that want a build done at a, let's call it a really competitive price.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what they can afford, and that's fine. But I think if you want something that's a bit better and looked after, and you're dealing with one person, you know, I wish there was more builders out there like yourself doing that. Doing what you're doing. You probably argue against it. You only want to be the only one.
Yeah. No, I'm happy.
But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel like, you know, there's not that many builders around.
No. Look, everybody looks at the cheapest price on paper, right? That's what they see, but they don't realise, you know, there's the most expensive, there's the cheapest, and then some people, they fluctuate in the middle, but you know, there's a lot more to it than just being the cheapest, you know. Does everyone buy the cheapest car?
No, they don't.
No.
And people research cars way more than they research the builder that they're going to build with.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know what it is in the trade industry. I just swear a lot of people will go for the cheapest price, and that's it. That's what they look for, the bottom dollar, and they'll go for that. But when it comes to anything else, clothing, cars, anything outside of that industry, they go, nah, it's no good because it's cheap. So let's go up a little bit.
Which is the opposite way to think. Like it's your home is like the biggest investment generally you're going to make.
Right.
So you would expect, hey, I'm going to pay more for this because I want a better job done, or I want, you know, to look up at the architraves and not be split within
that's right.
3 weeks.
Exactly.
You know, and not have all these maintenance issues that pop up, you know, in the next 2 years on my brand new home.
Yeah. That's right.
That should be free and clear of defects and these little things.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is like if you do a house and land package, land we can't help. Land is the price. So that jacks up the price enormous. So there's a little bit of play in the build, but not much. But land is what looks, it's a killer.
This is to me, I'm so happy you brought that up. This is to me which makes things so weird. Like we're in a housing crisis. We need to build more homes. But the land cost is, you know, over 50% of what the build cost is.
Yeah, easy.
You know, and that it's like, well, you guys are the ones selling the land.
Yeah.
So just drop the price of the land and we can build way more houses.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah. My first block of land was 25 years old. I paid $300,000 for 411 square meters. I paid $469,000 for 400 square meters 3 months ago.
That's insane.
$169,000 rised in 5 years. You know, I can't help that. I can't argue with him. There's no, all right, I'll meet you halfway.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, we've got a cheaper price there.
Yeah. Can I pay cash? No, it doesn't work like that. So, yeah, it's a big killer. And they should drop it, but and then you got stamp duty on top of that. So I'll say it on here. It's all right. But I bought 2 blocks of land in Googong, and I was planning on building on both of them at the same time, which is where we're building right now. One of them I actually on-sold to a mate of mine who wanted to get into the building as well. And I paid the same price for both of them, and I paid a deposit only. So I only exchanged. When settlement date came along, I told my solicitor, I'm just on-selling that one for the same price. I'm not making anything to my friend. And she said, no problem. But the government charged 2 lots of stamp duty, one to me for owning the block for a total of about 10 seconds, and then one to my friend who just bought the property. And it was $15,500 each for stamp duty. So the government pocketed $30,000 within 20 minutes.
That's, yeah. And we're trying to build homes. And
Yeah.
I heard something on the news the other day, and it was like, if you tax something, you'll get less of it.
Yeah.
So in my mind, and then, the HIA come out with these studies last year, which was like new builds, 50% of a new build, or I think high 40s, is taxes. When you factor in GST and you factor in the wages and you factor in, stamp duties, all of that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. Like, it's usually when I do a contract, my initial deposit, that's covered just in setup costs for GST, for not GST over the whole bill, but planning levies you got to pay. You got to pay your long service levy. There's so many fees to the government. It takes up the whole deposit. It's gone. So when you get to base stage, you put the invoice in for the slab that goes down. That's when you start paying for trades. So
everything else, that first bit, out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. I can't understand why there's a problem there. We want to solve the problem. So make everything around that problem easier.
Yeah.
And then the problem will solve itself generally.
Yeah, that's right.
And builders, we want to build. So lease more land, and let us get into it.
Look, if I've learned anything off the government in the last 5 years, they
not-
haven't done much, mate.
Yeah.
But we're not political.
We're not. Well, we sometimes we are. What do you think the biggest challenges are in construction at the moment, though?
Biggest challenges?
Or for builders? Yeah.
Government.
Yeah.
Government, land release, like the quantity of land. Hence, that's why we're probably in Googong, because I don't know many other suburbs that are as quick as releasing land for New South Wales at the moment. But yeah, probably government, the red tape, just to try and get approval. Subbies. There used to be a lot of subbies out there, a lot of different companies, but that's shrunk a little bit now. But yeah, I'd say government. That's the hardest thing right now, trying to get an approval. Yeah.
Yeah. And you were saying that your builds you do as a CDC.
Yeah.
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so a CDC, it's a complying development certificate. So it's basically, long story short, you don't go down the council route of a DA. It's a private certifier that signs off on building a house on a property. Yeah. So you can be within a boundary setback, do what you want. There is guidelines. There's a big guideline that the government has given us, and you just follow those guidelines. Yeah.
And you were saying you design all your homes to fit within those parameters.
Yeah.
And then that's how that fast track happens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You're not getting caught up in a DA when that's a development approval. That's when you're slightly outside of those little areas that they say you can build in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And with a DA, that will go to council, and council will assess it against a range of criteria that they have, right? Which is maybe impacting the neighbours. It might be site coverage. It might be all these different things. And then they'll say yes or no. That process generally takes anywhere from, I won't even say 3 months.
No.
It generally takes from 6 to 12 months to get something like that back through.
Yeah, for sure. It used to be 18 to 2 back when everything was going haywire in construction. Yeah, and that's when I started, was when DAs were taking forever. So I thought, no, CDC is the way to go. And that CDC will take you, I can get it done in about 5 days with my certifier, about a week.
Yeah, that fast track, I think, is going to be the key to building more homes.
Yeah.
And it's the key to keeping the industry going. And generally you talk to a client, right? And when you're designing their home for them and you go, hey, I reckon we just change this a little bit here. We don't have to go and ask the government if this is okay.
Yeah.
Most people are like, oh, what do you mean I'll be able to live in my house 12 months sooner than, I'm like, yeah. Otherwise we're going to go down this other path, and you get someone to assess it, and they might have comments about everything not related to that and other stuff.
Yeah, look, but there is, as you said before, there's a disadvantage to CDC. You've got to have minimum setbacks, and blocks are only getting smaller. So minimum setbacks, they're staying the same. So as the block's getting smaller, your house is getting smaller. And then there's also a certain square meters you have to be in the house of living to have a CDC.
Yeah.
So it'll get to a point where it just turns on itself and doesn't work.
That's again disappointing. We've got so much land. We should be developing more of this land, and it's a shame to me to see the block sizes shrinking just to make more money.
Yeah, that's how it is.
It just seems I know where everything's a business, but when I look at the way that what generally goes is the backyard and that sort of living area, which is annoying.
Yeah.
But again, it comes around to that people want a new home, and that's what I guess the government wants us to do, really.
Yeah, yeah. Well, block size is getting smaller, but they're going up. They're going 2 stories. They're going down. They're digging down and just squeezing in what they can. It's looking like the middle of Sydney. When you get all these boxy houses, and it's beautiful, but you get 3 stories. That's what it's probably going to end up being.
What are your thoughts on the? Obviously, in Canberra, we've got the 7-star energy rating.
Yeah.
Is that's likely to come in New South Wales?
Yeah, it will.
Yeah,
it will. But I think New South Wales, like the size of New South Wales, all the way from the Queensland border, the South Australian border, they got so much coverage to try and manage that. So it might come in, it might not. But I had a job in ACT that required me to have 2.5 kilowatts of solar just to meet the energy rating.
Yeah.
And 2.5 kilowatts of solar is going to...
Like the whole roof?
No, like 2.5 kilowatts, 4 panels.
Right.
What's
the point?
You're going to charge my phone? Yeah. There's not much it will do. So, but it had to meet that criteria.
Yep.
There was no, what's the word, like a deemed to satisfy of common sense. Mm-hmm. He probably doesn't need it. It's not going to do anything. But it's getting expensive, right? 7-star energy.
Yeah.
Windows got to get expensive.
Do you think we need to lift the building standards and adopt more methodology around more energy efficient homes? There's that passive house seems to be really, really they're pushing that hard.
Yeah.
I'm not all about passive house. I'm just about like lifting the standard slightly.
Yeah.
Just making sure that it's insulated, making sure your windows are taped properly.
Yeah. Well, that comes down to also just building. Even if it doesn't say it in a report, you should probably be doing that anyway when you're building a house.
Like best practice, right?
Yeah. Best practice. Just because something tells you to do it, if it doesn't say to do it, you should still do it.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do. So
I agree. Yeah.
For sure.
And that a lot of clients don't understand that, and these volume builders are not thinking like this way.
No.
They're thinking profit line, get in, get out, get on to the next one type deal, sign the next contract.
That's right.
There's always a place for the volume builders, yes, but it's I guess the difference you get by going with someone like yourself at Ontop Homes, right?
Yeah, that's right. We do when we do our cycling, we tape it to every window. We do make it energy efficient as we can. We put better insulation in, but that's just a practice you should have.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you notice the difference in the homes that you build compared to, say, some of the others you might walk through in Googong from the volume builders?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are the differences?
Well, volume builders, back when I was a carpenter, they'd never sark the house. So, yeah.
Big difference there.
It wasn't a requirement. So if it said in a book you don't have to sark a house, they're not going to sark a house. Sarking, I should say. But, it's massive difference in just thermal efficiency. Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, even just the finishes, the quality, because we don't work on purchase order. A lot of big builders, they work on purchase orders, which is something that they will give to a trade to say, this is what you're going to get paid and this is the jobs that we want you to do for that. And then the trades will do the minimum because that's
all they're getting paid for.
That's what we're getting paid for, mate.
I just had the podcast with Sammy, and he's a contract carpenter in a carpentry crew down in Victoria.
Oh yeah,
and he was sort of saying that he's worked for these builders, and they give you all the sarking, and they'll give you all of the glues and tapes and everything you need, and then you work for other builders, and they've only given you 2 tubes and not 15.
Yeah,
and you got to try and make that work, and then
little bit by little bit.
Yeah, it's like, well, I can only do what I've been sort of supplied with.
Yeah, that's right. But I've been in that position too, and then you get more tubes of silicon or poly as an example, but to get an extra for that, so to speak, when you get paid an extra for that, it takes months.
It does.
And it's not even worth it,
Yeah. I remember doing a frame out in Murray Bateman, and we ran out of buttons, and the builder's there. He's like, oh, can you just go and pick them up on your way out to site the next day? I'm like, I can. Like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, just invoice me for it. Put the invoice in. No, I'm not paying it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, well, I'm not working for you again.
That won't happen again.
But you've asked me to do a favor. I go and do the favor for you. And that to me is a common thing.
Yeah. Heaps.
And like, I just, again, that logic of like, I can't think the way he thinks in that I've gone out and helped the build off my own back and then I've put an invoice in.
Yeah.
It was only for the materials. Like I didn't charge him for my time to go and pick them up.
No profit on it.
Yeah.
No.
It was just like, oh yeah, just get this done.
Reimburse it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it's just frustrating.
I do that now with some trades, but I will reimburse them every time. But we pay pretty quickly, because I've been that trade that never got paid.
And you appreciate it from the builder side. You're like, oh, thanks for the
Absolutely.
chop out there, man. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
you might be tied up doing X, Y, and Z. Yeah, 100%.
right.
But that's how good business works, right?
Yeah, you become a team. So, but
What's something too many sorry. What's something about residential building that the public completely misunderstands?
that we're all rich, we're all wealthy. Everyone in construction makes big money. It's a myth. No. Some are struggling, Yeah, definitely a money factor.
Definitely a money factor.
Yeah. Everyone thinks that we're just loaded.
Why do you think that perception is from the public that builders are just out to rip you off and we're all making bulk money?
I think they see what we have, 79 Series Land Cruisers, nice cars, but they don't realise the tax implications why we buy that. And we've all owned that. It's all, I don't know if some people bought them outright. That's a stupid decision, but just as an example for that, the nicer trailers, it's all because it's a tax deduction. So we just need mass tax deductions because we get taxed up the arse anyway. So
we do. Yeah. Yep.
That's all it is. So
Well, and you need, to be honest, I mean, you might not need a 79 Land Cruiser, but it's nice to have.
Yeah.
And you should be able to, if you want to put your money behind that and go out and go full driving on the weekend, you should be able to do that. Like, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, that's right. But I think the conception when people see that, it's a $100,000 car with a $50,000 trailer behind it, they're making a lot of money. You know, but really those repayments on all of that, you're sitting $5,000-$6,000 a month.
Yep.
So it's to shrink your tax. That's what a lot of the tactics use,
Definitely, 100%. And you do need a work vehicle that it's going to start every single morning.
Yeah.
Because you have to get to work.
Yeah.
You need a trailer that if you buy a good trailer, it's going to last for, 10 years. You only want to buy it once.
That's right.
And generally you're going to pick up materials sometimes that are pretty heavy and you need a capable vehicle that can be able to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's right. But also we're coming back to a government issue where you've got to have a commercial vehicle that can hold over a ton to be able to claim it.
Yeah.
How many vehicles can hold over a ton?
That's right.
Not many. So
at what point did you realise being a good builder isn't enough?
Oh, geez, it would have been after my first house, literally, yeah. You can be a good builder, but to me, you have to have a good personality. You got to be a good person. You got to relate to your clients. It's even when I talk to people to potentially hire, as an example, or potential clients, I judge them straight away. I'm bad with that. When I say judge them, I read their body language. So there's more than being a good builder.
Definitely.
You can be good with your hands, but you can be a really rude person or a bad person. So.
Yeah, they got to pass the pub test,
Oh yeah. And
the pub test to me is like, would you sit in a pub, have a drink with this person, and have a chat with them?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, because if I can't do that with, someone I'm working with, I'm gonna find it difficult in the long run.
Yeah, that's right. You can't clash. People have personality clashes. You can't clash. Yeah.
How do you quote your projects? What's your process? Are you fixed price? Are you?
No. I sit down and then I just go through the whole build. Yeah, I'll get the plans drawn most of the time, like concept plans, not working drawings, and I'll literally nut out from, site cut, termite, protection, frame, window, how much everything's going to cost, and go through the entire thing. And then I'll find out roughly what it's going to cost. I'll put a buffer in there, a percentage, and then a percentage for me to build it.
Yep.
I know generally what things are going to cost now.
Yeah.
From every little detail, from even just buying eave sheets. We do that. So most of the time it's fixed price contracts after I've figured all that out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And do you charge for your quotes?
No. No, free quotes.
Free quotes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not free, but
No, yeah, it's part of it, but no. Like if you want to win the job, then I suppose, I don't know, if you're going to do, if you've got 100 homes and you're going to quote them, then maybe it's a good idea, but no, always been free. Always. Yeah.
I don't like, we don't charge for our quotes, but I don't like saying they're free because I feel like you then have an obligation. Like we'll have people that call up and they want a quote and the job just won't be the right fit.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason. It might be the size of it. It might be the location when we check what their house is like, whatever factor it is. And then they will come back and, in the earlier days, they'll be like, well, you said it's a free quote, so you have to come out here. It's like, no. Like we get to make the decision whether we come out or not, or whether I provide you with a quote.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
All of the negative reviews that I've had have all been from quotes.
Oh, wow.
Everyone.
Not the actual work.
Not the actual work.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
It will be, the quote took too long. We booked in for a quote and we didn't receive it. That's usually we've sent it out and tried to call them and they haven't, it's gone into their junk email or something like that. And all these kinds of things, or we called them up for a quote and they were too busy or never got back to us or this or didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
it's just that to me is really disappointing and frustrating.
Yeah, well, that comes back to, again, what I said before with like your personality thing. So I'll go and meet everybody that wants a quote most of the time. I'll go check out the site. I'll do a lot of research, but if it just doesn't fit, I'll let them know pretty quickly. We don't have the capacity, or generally I don't have the capacity most of the time. So we get a lot now. It's by request kind of thing. So like they'll send me some plans for potential clients that they have drawn or want drawn. And if it fits both of us, I'll generally get into it. But if it's something that I'm just not interested in, I won't do it.
Yeah.
So,
have you had any pushback there?
yeah, we have had a couple, mainly because they want the house done quickly. But there's a lot to it than just doing it quickly.
How long does it take you to do a quote?
2 weeks, yeah. I'm in the middle of one now. But the one I'm in the middle of, it should be an award-winning house. So this has got to be pretty bang on. Yeah. But this one's got a pool in it. And you got to factor in a lot of things.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, and what that looks like, tell me if I'm wrong, you're going through absolutely every detail in that whole project from top to bottom, from the site cut and to the hinges, to the screws, to the finishes in the kitchen. Every single detail that you can think of is put into that quote very comprehensively, and then you're presenting that to the client. And that takes a lot of time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like it's I'm very old school. I'm not good with tech. So I'll write down on pen and paper, literally the start like a process on how to build the house.
Yep.
And then luckily my wife's very good with computers, so she's got me a spreadsheet now. So I'll go through from site cut, planning.
Plug in all that stuff with
surveyors,
her.
And then, it's a dollar figure for each of what I've estimated, just from pure experience. And then I'll get to the end of it. I won't give that to the client, not itemized, because the quote will be a booklet. So it's
lump sum.
Lump sum.
Some clients that you give them all that information, it just overwhelms them, as well. So you want to give them a cost at the bottom. What you want is this, and I'm going to charge you this for it. Good to go.
Yeah, and a lot of builders or a lot of clients will ask, "What's your square meter rate?" I don't have a square meter rate because I actually don't know. If I averaged it out, sure, there'd be a square meter rate, but there's no actual square meter rate. So your bigger builders, going back to them, they probably do have a square meter rate because it's the same house, just blueprinted from block to block.
Yeah,
so.
And they've got all that quantified already, and generally their builds are very similar type thing.
Yeah. When I was doing the carpentry for a lot of those bigger builders, it's the same build. You could have done it with your eyes closed. The door's in the same position, swinging the same way. So.
It's just there might be a slight variation from the number 1 to the number 3, or
that's right. Or you're going to have a different paint. That's about it.
Do you have any variations?
No, actually, never.
No,
never. No. Unless the client has done something after where they would, we actually had one, sorry, I do lie. We had one on the last house, but she wanted the whole house painted outside because we were painting the extension part. So she just decided, it's going to look better if we paint the whole house. Yeah, sure. So, but when I say variation, it doesn't come to me. I just offer straight to the painter.
Yeah.
You might as well. Like, I'll ask him for you. He'll give us a price based on what he would charge me, and you just pay him directly.
Yeah.
But for a variation, no, never. I'm usually pretty good with the pricing.
Perfect. And that keeps your admin time down, and it gives you the ability to be on site more, focusing on the build and just getting to that that finished, that finished project essentially.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is like I got to bring my wife into it. She's just taken over that admin in the last 3 months where we've just skyrocketed. She's very good with that.
Rowan and I were actually talking yesterday, and we're like, oh, we didn't ask if Chris is coming in with his wife.
Oh, no. So she's not employed or nothing. It's just something that she's helping.
She's helping you.
Yeah, like maybe she's seen that it was just overwhelming me a bit too much, doing everything.
And she's been the driving force behind the content. Let's get into the content.
Yeah, she has. Yeah.
So are they all her ideas, or what's the go?
Look, when we started the Instagram page kind of thing or social media, I was just putting out what I can. I was just getting ideas off other builders. Then I was paying for a guy who's really, really good. Mm-hmm. I still get him today. He's great. He does a little bit of filming for us. So when I'm on the tools, and I suppose the wife just hit me up and just said, we should just do something funny. Like I want to be involved because she comes to site a lot because it's our houses that we're building.
Yeah.
And she says, can we change this, change that? And a lot of the trades would say, that's your wife. And she's changing a lot, eh? I was like, yeah. And then it just turned one thing where she said, they don't like me. Hey, and I said, no, they like you. She said, no, we should film this. It'd be funny. Lo and behold, we filmed one and literally I think it's on about 3.5 million views.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, the whole page had 5 million views in the last 30 days.
That's so good.
Went nuts, yeah. Yeah, absolutely skyrocketed. My DMs went crazy. I had leads everywhere. Yeah. And to be honest, I probably got 3 clients out of it. So, yeah.
That's perfect.
I say today it's, the old school mentality of builders was having a display home, but your social media is now your display home.
I feel you're on the right track there, 100%.
Yeah, that's where it's going, That's where it's going. They see who you are as personal. And going back to that, that's where I believe a lot of clients and builders, they should vibe in that way of becoming personal. It's not just about a product. It's about the person.
Well, you build a lot of trust through showing people what you like, your personality.
Yeah.
You like to have a laugh. That's always good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, for me, and talking to some of the other builders that I've had come on the podcast, they've used the podcast and they've sent it to clients and go, if you want to get to know me, check this out and watch the podcast, I guess, to get a feel for what I'm like and what my values are and things like that. So I definitely think it is the way it's going for sure.
Yeah. Like we talk a lot of personal stuff with my clients too, like you into footy, what do you, cars, this, that. We talk about a lot of things. So you have something in common, you get along. It's not all about just building. So
yeah, and you do want to build that friendship with a client, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to do a good job for them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, in my mind, like I'm always client first. I want to see the client win, and I feel like our interests are tied at that point, and to get the best outcome, I need to know about you.
Yeah, that's right. But it also comes down to you get more work off word of mouth. So they'll tell someone that it's not just he's a great builder, he's a good bloke. So yeah, I'd go with him.
Is that the feedback you get from clients?
Yeah, a lot of the time. Yeah, a lot of the time he's just an all-round good bloke. So yeah.
What's happening with the content now? Is there more ideas? In the future.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
Don't tell us. I want it to be a surprise.
Okay. No, there is. There's a lot more content. It's a mixture of all, of the building because it's a building page.
Yep.
But a lot of more entertainment purposes too, which is.
Was it a surprise, the amount of views you got?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I uploaded it about 7:00 at night on a Monday. I remember the first video that skyrocketed really took off.
Is this the My Wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it went nuts. And then I woke up in the morning and it was sitting at like 1 million views. And I sort of blinked and went, there's no way that hit 1 million views. And then the followers climbed like 20,000, 25,000. And they kept going. I went, really? And then everyone's, can we get part two? I've had DMs for people saying, I'm struggling a lot with I own a building company in America and I'm struggling a lot watching your video. Helped me a lot, It gave me made me a bit happy for the night kind of thing. So thank you for that. And yeah.
That's a good story.
Mate, it just opened up crazy. Yeah.
Why do you think that video in particular went so crazy?
From the feedback I'm getting, it's just relation. Everyone's relating to it because how many people renovate around the world, right? In their house or build and then they're in a relationship, with their partner and their partner is always, this is what we want. Oh, it's not going to happen, is it?
Yeah, the curve.
Yeah, it's going to fucking be pretty hectic to try and do that. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it just relates to a lot of people, hits them personally.
It hit me personally because my wife and I were doing a bit of renovations at home at the moment, and she will send me photos of stuff that she's seen on Instagram or Pinterest or something like that, and I'm just like, what the hell? We're not doing that, you know?
Yeah.
And, yeah, these curves are killing me.
Oh, yeah.
They're killing me, mate.
Oh,
No,
mate,
I've seen they're killing you too.
Oh, yeah. Look, they look great, but executing it's a different story. I actually had the kitchen guys that came in to do the house not long ago, a few weeks ago, and I watched him walk into the house, and he sort of looked around and he seen the curves, and he looked at me, and then he looked at the curves. He goes, "I'm in the fucking TikTok house." I said, "What do you mean? I don't have TikTok." And he goes, "Your wife, she's the bitch." And I was like, "Oh, better not say that." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the video. It's all
In jest.
yeah,
It's all for fun.
It's all for fun. You know, it's not. We're not being serious.
So have you got TikTok?
No,
No TikTok.
no TikTok. No, it's only Instagram.
So do you think someone's ripping your videos off and putting them on TikTok?
Maybe
now?
I had a look, but I'm not. As I say, I'm not tech savvy.
Yeah.
I sort of look at it like this.
Maybe your wife's got a secret TikTok that she's putting them,
Maybe,
releasing them on.
maybe she's getting monetized for it.
Yeah.
Maybe, hopefully.
Hopefully. I like your content, because it is so relatable and you're such a genuine dude, you know. And like when I reached out and we were sort of talking about lining this up, and thank you for your time, you know. I spoke to you on the phone yesterday and saw you at the Mawson Club on the weekend. I was it's like, he's a good dude, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think that before I even spoke to you, I sort of knew a little bit about you.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
so I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's where social comes in, like the social media. People think they know you. I'm the same with people that I would look up to. I think I know them personally, and then you see them out and you go, "Hey, mate," and they go, "Who the fuck are you?" You know? So it's good.
What are some other things that your wife's asked for that have been a little bit more on the tricky side?
Personal? Nah.
No. In construction.
In construction.
On the houses you're building.
You can edit that out.
Yeah.
At the time.
Write that down, Ryan.
In construction, look, a few funny things. It's more, she's got the gist of it now. You know, we'll get to a stage where she knows she can't change too much. You know, I designed the first 2 to 3 houses we built, and then it got too much, and she designed the last couple.
Yeah.
And they've been a lot better than what I've designed. So that's probably Pinterest. But yeah, she's just sheer curtains. She's asked for those recessed, but it's very hard to do those sort of things. So yeah, she's asked for a fair bit, but she knows generally it's the house is too far gone kind of thing. Yeah.
What do you think about chicks in construction?
Great. Get them in. Yeah, get them in. We've got a heap of our subbies that have, you know, chick apprentices. Yeah, no, they're great. Yeah.
I think I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think that it's an untapped resource that we should be getting more people into construction.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the way that, and I don't want to categorize all women like this, but they look at things in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, and they have, you know, different things in mind, you know, that being a builder or being a man, a bloke, you don't really think about.
No.
And then they seem to light bulb out and you're like, oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm pretty down to earth. Like we're all human. Anyone can build, you know, anyone can build. So
now let's talk about your team. So it's just you.
It's just me, one employee, me.
And you're all subcontracted out mainly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Get the invoice in, you pay the bill.
Yep. And you're the foreman, you're the estimator, you're the project manager, you're the owner of the business.
Yep.
Does it ever get too much and you just think, I want to hire some people?
It does, yeah. But I really struggle to hire people. I think it's just bad history, you know.
Yeah.
6 or 7 people worked for me before and it's just bad history. And it's an age thing as well, I believe. You know, I could hire people younger than me now and that's good and teach them. But most of the time back then I had a lot of older people because I was at a certain age and they took advantage of me, I believe. And it got too much back then. So I believe it's just easier now. If I'm very hard to let go of control. I need to be in control. Driving a car, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's got to be me that's doing it. I feel at ease with it.
Because you trust yourself and you know the outcome if you're in control. Right?
Yeah, that's right. And I know what I'm doing when I'm doing it. I know what needs to be done or I know how to talk to people. So
let's talk about subcontractors. How do you pick a good subby? What makes a good subby?
You just got to filter through them. Yeah. Like we've gone through so many in the past 10 years. Quality of work, communication, and how they fit in the team. So we had a Christmas party last year, and most of them came, which is really good, and they just know each other outside of work, not just me. I was actually surprised last Friday. I think the electrician said to me, my missus went to breakfast with the tiler's missus. Cool.
Nice.
We just set up a team that's just worked, But they all run their own businesses, obviously. So, we're all bringing each other up there.
Yeah.
It's just communication and how they work in with other trades that we're involved in, which they all do.
And that forethought for the next person.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah. Well, they know who they are.
Yeah.
So
they're going to make sure, or you're going to make sure the frames are right. And then
right.
whoever's sheeting, do you sheet as well?
no.
Or you get Gyprockers?
No, well, yeah. I used to sheet.
Sheet and set?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Gyprockers come now and do all that, which they're very close to me as well.
They just do it so much faster, don't they?
Yeah, that's
They're just so quick.
there'll be 20 people in there one day. It'll be done in 2 days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's insulated and it's ready to go. And
But they know the painter really well.
Yep.
And the painter knows when you're sanding. They don't need to ask me the question, So they do still. When's he sanding? I spoke to him already. Yeah, cool. He's sanding already.
Yep.
I'll go paint tomorrow. Sweet.
Is that the secret to your success getting builds done faster?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. It's just the sequence we have now with the team. Yeah. If we get offered a lot of new, new suppliers and new trades to come in. Hey, can we have some of your work? Can we quote it? And I always give the opportunity for sure. You can always expand, but it's not always price to me. Price doesn't matter. It's, again, we're going back to personality.
Yeah.
You've got to fit in with the team and be part of the crew.
And fitting in means that, you're thinking about the plasterer's thinking about the painter.
Yep.
The framer's thinking about the plasterer.
Yep.
The tilers, the frame guy's thinking about the tiler as well.
Yeah.
All of these little things that the next thing.
Yeah, that's right. This is throughout the whole build. Like our site cut guy who is, best mates with the plumber.
Yeah.
He knows what to do. They put dirt here.
They work together well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask why is there a dirt pile there because he's already organised the plumber to pick it up
Yep.
when he's doing drains. It's really efficient.
You talk about filtering through them, right?
Yeah.
What does it look like when they're sort of not meeting the standards? Is there a conversation or is it just, no, I'm not going to?
They're just not really interested in being there. They'll just leave site with no communication. They'll just sort of, this isn't right. I'm just leaving, and then I'll turn back up and shit, why isn't this done? And then you call them and they say, well, mate, your Gyprock didn't do this, it didn't do that, and then that's it.
They sort of
didn't fit in.
They're sort of just like, okay, you don't understand what we're trying to create here.
Yeah.
You're not on the same wavelength. We're all trying to work together as a unit.
Yeah, that's right.
I know you might have your own business and you work for a couple of different builders or this or that, the other, but when you're working on my homes, I want it done like this, and you need to work in with the people around you.
Yeah, that's right. It's just we become a team, and if they don't want to be a part of a team, that's how it is. Yeah, we filter through them quite a lot. Used to, not anymore.
I think that's a sign of a great builder.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's a team, right?
You're as strong as your subcontractors.
Yeah,
as strong as the people you work with.
Oh, mate, they are the backbone to what we do. If we didn't have these subbies, we would be nothing. I can't build a house on my own. They are the one.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think that more subcontractors need to change the way that they're thinking about working with builders?
Absolutely, yeah. But I think it's one of those things you need to experience being the builder to be able to understand that. Being a chippy back then, I thought of builders of, they loaded, they got this much money, why can't they do this? They're not paying me on time, they're hopeless, they're this, they're that. Where when I became the builder, I went, you know what? It is hard. It's actually like being a contractor, just on a bigger scale. That's all it is. Was it on your podcast I heard? You're like an orchestra. And you're just doing this and that, and that's absolutely, you hit the nail on the head there. That's how it is. You're still a contractor, but you're just managing every contractor.
Everything together.
Yeah.
And when it all works together, it's actually so awesome to work in.
Yeah, yeah.
And everyone's going in that direction and we're all talking to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
And, I talked a lot about the flow state, when you're on site and everything just clicks.
Yeah.
And you're just like busting through a frame or everything's just going right.
Yeah.
You basically, the people you're working next to, you're not even talking to them about the job. You're talking to them about what are you doing the weekend?
Yeah, yeah.
What's
Yeah.
What about the footy the other day and everything? Like you just know what they're doing. It's almost like telekinesis.
Oh yeah, it's you become very personal with everybody. It's really good. Like the Tyler, I'll have a conversation with him at 7:00 in the morning about what he got up to on the weekend, And then I know I'm going to the next job site, the electrician's there, but I know I'm talking to him about what he did last Thursday when he was in Sydney watching the footy. You know, you just got so many conversations going on, but you're up to date with all of it. So
That's the sign of being a good operator, though, because you're invested in those people and not just invested in why aren't you done?
yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh, for sure, yeah. We would never work like that. I can't. I've had that boss before and I just can't do it like
Can't
that.
do it.
No way, no.
So you've seen the opposite and you wanted to be different to that and do things better.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. I don't think I've raised my voice ever. I'm a lover, not a fighter. I can't. If someone yelled at me on site, I'd probably be like, yeah, you're right. Sorry. I can't do it. But I think that's where a lot of the trades, they understand that too. And that's why they probably like working for us, because we're cool, calm and collected. If there's a problem, there's always a solution.
Shows that you're in control that way.
Yeah. It's
The moment you raise your voice, you're not in control anymore.
No, I can't. I can get angry, but I don't raise my voice and don't swear at them.
How do we get this kind of mentality everywhere?
I wouldn't even say education. It's just who you are as a person. Yeah, you can't really educate that. You can't change people. People will be who they are, no matter who they are as builders. You know, maybe it's them managing their own stress, I guess, because we're all stressed as builders, but it's just how they manage it. But at the same time, you don't know what's going on in their life, what they got going on at home. We don't know. Some people separate work from home life. Mine's just one life. I live all of it together. You know, I go camping with some of the trades. We're very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's important.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
You're really guaranteeing the outcome.
yeah, for sure. But also, they come to the party. They help you out. You help them out.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a two-way street. Has to be a
for
two-way
sure,
street.
for sure. They need a bit of help on their house. I'll do it for nothing. I'm there. What do you need? Yep, bang bang.
Yeah, our Sparky wanted us to build some pallets for him.
Oh yeah.
Or one of our Sparkies, I should say. And it's not something we want to do. But I was like, yeah, of course.
It's cool. Yeah,
We can sort that out for you.
yeah, because there's more to life than that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And I like, it's good to have, I like working with people like me or good people.
Yeah,
For sure. I don't want to work with, I hear some horror stories like people working in offices and there's one person in there that everyone has to walk on eggshells around or
talk behind their back.
and it's just like, I don't want, how do you live your life like that? I just, go and talk to that person and tell them, pull their head in or tell them this or tell them that.
But I think that's the
Or say what's going on.
Yeah, that's the difference in construction. My wife will come home and say that this person said this, and I'll like walk up to him and slap him. She's like, you can't do that. I was like, well, in construction you can.
Yeah, my wife would be like, well, fire him.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work like that. No.
What do clients get wrong about building a custom home?
They get wrong. They think it. For me personally, they think it's more expensive than any other home. It's not. It's the same price.
Same price?
Yeah. To design a home, it's the same price. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and when you design a home, you're tailoring it to their needs, wants, and
Yeah. I'll give them range, and it sells us a bit more because it's what they want, But a lot of clients they have no idea, so they just want me to do it for them, and I will walk them through it. But a lot of the time, it's designing it, and they think, oh, we want to buy off the plan because it's going to be 10% cheaper, but it's the same price.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do they come to you with a budget and say, I want the build to be 600,000, and then you work to that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Most of the time, they'll say, well, look, we can't spend over this, and we'll make it fit most of the time. But I'll give them what they want at the end of the day. If they want a $600,000 home or a $500,000 home, even a $450,000 home, it's fine. It's just we limit a few things in the house. I'll maximise my workload as a carpenter. So it's got to be polystyrene foam on the outside with render. It's got to be, your standard doors, standard features in the house. It's got to be 20 mil stone.
It has to be compromised.
It's got to be compromised. And then they'll understand that and we'll squeeze it in for that price. Yeah.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, it's still their home that they've literally fully customized. They've shaped it the way they want to shape it. The facade looks how they want it to look. Yeah.
Again, we need more builders like you doing the kind of work that you're doing because that to me is, that's the way I like to operate too. Come to me with a budget and say, I want to spend 100 grand on my backyard and I want to put all these things in it. And I'll tell you straight off the bat, you can do it, can't do it.
Yeah.
Or I'll say, pool has to be tiny or your deck has to be this or
That's right.
You can't have composite boards. You got to have timber. You're going to be oiling it.
That's right.
These are the things you got to, I'd rather a client be upfront and honest with me straight off the bat and be like, I can't go over this amount. And then, I come in a little bit lower than that in case anything goes wrong or good amount lower than that.
Yeah. I've never, since I started building, we haven't actually lost the client because I've been overpriced. We've always made them work and fit in with that budget.
Yeah.
It's just because I want to do your work, and that's what I'm going to achieve.
Yeah.
If that's the price, then that's the price, and they're happy to compromise because they understand that.
And you'll sit down and talk with them through every single thing in there and
Yep.
make sure that they understand what they're getting, right?
Yeah, most of the time I'll even tell them how much it costs to start with.
Yeah.
You know, your slab costs this.
Yeah.
You know, it was a bit over budget. It's all good. We'll make it up at the end.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to do a bit of solar. Cool.
So you set the expectations early and then go on from there?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, when we have our initial meeting, usually I like to do it on site, on their site. If it's their land, they get a feel for it. Where do you want, this is how far your house has got to be set back for a CDC compliance. And then, we'll go through the whole design process together. And pretty much that's how it works. It's really clear communication from the start. But as I said, daily updates most of the time because we are quite quick. It's got to be daily.
Yeah.
Most of the time they come past anyway every second day, walk through and just, wow, progress.
I love giving clients updates, especially you see a frame go up, you're like, that photo straight away.
Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
Yeah. They love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of my clients actually miss a lot of the stage because they might not live here. So they might see the concrete slab go down and then 2 weeks will go past and they'll expect frames, but we'll lock up. They go, wow.
Windows and doors are on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and again, it comes down to you make sure your selections are good because we're not changing them after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. You want that locked in.
Yeah. But we still give them freedom as the job goes on. If you want to change your freestanding bath design, you can before we've done anything about it. Kind of thing. It's fine.
There becomes that tipping point in the construction where you can change things easily.
Yep.
And then after that, you're like, I don't want to change anything because that's going to be an absolute nightmare and it's going to cost the bomb. And
that's right.
Everything that I've worked hard for here.
Yeah. When we do a pre-sheet, we generally do like a walkthrough and it takes about half a day to walk through a house when a pre-sheet before we put gyprock on. Mm-hmm. I don't think New South Wales or Queensland know what pre-sheet is. They don't really do it actually.
Yeah.
It's a really niche thing that we have here in Canberra.
Pre-sheet walkthrough.
Yeah. Or just a pre-sheet.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So how you plane your studs, straighten your walls.
Yeah.
It's not something that they really do. They straighten their walls, but it's not to the extent that we do.
Make them gun barrel so they put this plaster on and you can see, the wall is straight. There's no bows.
That's right, yeah.
In the walls.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but we'll do a massive walkthrough and that's before we gyprock because that's your last opportunity if you want features. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you educate clients differently now than when you first started?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mainly because I've learned a lot more since when I started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mainly. What are some of the things you put in? Is that pre-sheet walkthrough that you do? Is that a recent thing?
Yeah, it is because I know that a lot of clients would, but I give a lot of clients the option as well. Like if they've never wanted something from the start because they don't know anything about building, they're in a whole different industry for their work. I'll go through a pre-sheet and say, do you want something like this? Like a recessed TV? Do you want a bulkhead with LED lights? Do you want something? Because right now I can put it in as the carpenter. Mm-hmm. If I'm ahead in the build, I'm not going to charge you to do it. At the same time, if I'm ahead, if we're losing money, I'm not going to offer it to you.
Yeah.
But if we're ahead, we're in the green, I'll put it in for you.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's it.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So it just gives them that feature because at the end of the day, it's my name on that house. So if their friends and family walk through, I want them to be able to say, he did that, but we didn't even know what that would look like. But he did that and it looks great.
That would build heaps of confidence with the client too for that final finish.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So we do that for a lot of things in the house. Yeah. Which is good.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Do you want a house? You are the builder anyway.
Yeah. I just think that it's really cool to see that you're I'd say doing things a bit differently.
Yeah.
And I think that you've looked at the way that say other builders have done things. You're like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Let's get clients more involved and let's take them through the build and let's show them this and show them that and give them options at certain stages because it can get pretty overwhelming if you're at the start. You're like, and do you want the TV niches? And do you want this? And do you want, whereas you get to that frame stage and then they can see it. Then you're taking them in and going, well, check this out. This is where you're going to be sitting. This is this, this is this, this is this.
I show them photos on the phone of what previous houses. This is what it would look like. Do you want something like this? But it comes down to, again, it's a business. Yes, there's got to be money involved. Yes, we have to profit. That's how it is. But it's also, I'm creating a brand and a personality where I want to be seen where people go, that's the builder that we want. It's not something that I want, you big guild builders one day. I don't want to be doing that. I want to be very niche. So
But I think it's extremely smart in that you're guaranteeing a successful outcome by having them come through and giving them constant updates. And I just wish that more builders would do that more often. And I guess, help us out for the guys that are trying to do the right thing and take a little bit more time with clients to make sure that the outcome is successful.
Yeah,
I'm sick of hearing these horror stories, man.
yeah, that's right. Like I want 100 positive clients, not one bad client. That's what I want. 100 positive outcomes and 100 positive subbies that have worked for us. That's all we want.
What does the future look like for Ontop Homes?
Oh, mate, to be honest, this is the future. This is where I ever wanted to be. Was off the tools, not off the tools, but off contract carpentry through other builders and building myself, and wanted to take that leap. And then I remember when I was 18 and I started the business, I had a whiteboard in my bedroom and I turned it around. I wrote on the back of it what I wanted to achieve.
And you wrote on the back of the whiteboard?
I did, yeah. I've still got it today. And
that's sick.
Yeah, and it started with get your Cert 4, just a dot point, be a builder, build a house for yourself and sell it for profit and go again. And then
first one's the hardest, isn't it?
Yeah, very hard. I've got a mate now learning that, but I'm walking him through it.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but and the goalpost mover, we get to this stage, where do you want to be next? So
I know it all too well.
Yeah, we just want to be moving on now to maybe commercial property, a bit of investing, not building so much, just a bit more business-like.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're happy with the way things are moving at the moment, not looking to bring on heaps of people, not looking to do,
Yeah.
You just want to keep that momentum that you've got, guaranteed outcomes, successful builds.
Yeah, I think it's a very safety net for me. I know it's going to work, so I'll keep doing it. Where you can bite off more than you can chew, but you got to chew like fuck. But I'm not like, I don't like risk too much in that sense. I do like risk, but not like that. I'll very much just steadily grow, and that's what we've done over time. And yeah, this is, as I said, this is where I wanted to be, and now I'm just like, where do we go from here? So now the goalpost move, let's change. But probably if I'd say anything, it's probably just building a couple more houses for myself a year.
Yep.
That's about it.
What's your capacity like? How many houses could you build a year?
We sit at about 12 at the moment a year. Yeah, for ACT and New South Wales. Yeah,
that's good going.
Yeah, it's not too bad. But as you know, with home warranty, it's also a trust thing. So you get reviewed every 12 months, and then you go up again. You can fit more capacity in. So, yeah,
more volume or more premium?
More premium. Well, when you say premium, is that like a?
Do you want to build less homes but higher value, or do you want to build more homes, or stick to what you're doing?
Probably stick to what I'm doing. Yeah, just we're really inviting a lot of first home buyers because we're not like I can build.
You can build to that
level.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that amount where I don't need to be greedy with selling it. I can get under $1 million for a home for a 4-beddy 2 and 2, and I'm still making what I need to make and move on. So
Perfect.
We're inviting a lot of buyers into that range. Yeah,
you'd be very busy. You'd be
very busy. Yeah, it's skyrocketed.
Yeah.
I need to hire people, so we'll see.
Why do you love what you do?
The passion, I love seeing a smile on someone's face. I'm creating their life. You know what I mean? This is, as you said before, it's the biggest investment people will make. They live in these homes. They create memories. I love seeing the outcome. I love making people happy.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for me. Yeah.
Do you ever take a minute to, I guess, look back at where you've come and where you are now, and I guess be proud of your achievements?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's probably never good enough as well. But I do. I never used to. I did lately. When you asked me to come on this podcast, I thought, wow, geez, that's sort of something I never think I'd do. But yeah, so
here you are.
Here I am. But yeah, I do a little bit now, but I think that comes with age. Age and maturity and settling down a bit. Yeah.
I found it the hardest thing for me to do,
Yeah.
I guess, is practice gratitude and be like, 5 years ago, if I looked and saw where I am now, I'd be so super happy.
Yeah.
But it's just so difficult to be like, but no, I want to be here now.
Yeah.
I want to be here now. I want to be here.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think I seen a post the other day that was, if you seen your future self, like, is that what you expected? No way. Like if you told me 10 years ago I'd be working for myself, just building a house, not relying on any builders, nothing, just doing it for myself and selling it at this age, I'd be I'd tell you you're a liar.
You'd be chuffed.
Oh yeah, I'd be like, wow, that's amazing. So
I think you should be very proud of what you've created and
thanks,
what you've
mate.
done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
I think it's super, super impressive.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, yeah. We'll see.
And I'm not surprised that you are where you are.
Oh, good. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Let's get on to the quick fire round.
All right.
It's never quick. We're going to just go through the list of questions. You've listened to a few podcasts, so you probably know them.
Sure.
But the first one is, what's one tool that you can't live without?
One tool I can't live without.
Yep.
Ooh. A tape measure.
Tape measure?
Yeah.
That's your go-to?
Yeah. It has to be a tape measure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you running?
I actually moved from a Stanley Fat Max to now a Crescent Nighthawk, which is like it's got a black tape.
Yeah.
I just like the look of a black tape.
I can't go away from the Stanley Fat Maxes, man.
Oh no, that's
They're just bulletproof.
that's the thing. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Probably a tape measure. That's
Probably tape measure.
It's
Does the Crescent have the numbers on the back?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I just liked it.
I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. But it's not as strong when you extend it out.
Yeah.
And it snaps.
Yeah.
So might throw that in the bin.
It is the tool that you probably use the most, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you should. That's what apprentices should be wiring first. Tape and a pencil.
Yeah, definitely.
Just use it every day. Measurements.
Biggest myth about the building industry that you want to bust?
They were all rich.
All rich.
Yeah. Probably everyone thinks that a lot of people in construction are rich. We're not. You're average people.
And we're not out to rip you off.
No. God, no.
And we're human beings. I think sometimes people forget that we're actually humans.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. With a lot more stress than everybody else.
With a lot of stress.
Yeah.
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 But when things work, it's the best industry to work in.
Oh, it's great.
You know.
It's the best. Yeah.
I love being outside. I love creating.
Yeah.
And I think you'd probably get that from designing homes.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I've tried to leave the industry 2 or 3 times to do something completely different. You always find yourself coming back. Yeah.
I think what keeps me going is like you work a hard day and you see what you've achieved at the end of it, and you're physically drained, and you're mentally drained. Like that for me is what I love.
Oh, yeah. It's the job satisfaction. It is that good. When you've built something and you've produced something, really good. Yeah. When my wife comes home from work and she's produced reports, I can't relate.
I can't either.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hard work.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it is for her, but it's not. For me, you need a product.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see something.
Do you think you were born to be in construction?
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
It's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're definitely a certain type of person when you're in construction, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What's one thing you would fix in residential building tomorrow if you could?
Structural carpentry to be licensed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Because there's a lot of risk in structural carpentry. I'm not talking about hanging doors or nothing like that. I'm talking building something that is the roof over people's heads, doesn't collapse. So it needs to be licensed. We've got plumbers that are licensed. We've got electricians that are licensed, and they've got some dangerous work. So we need how to transfer loads and all that to be licensed.
Yep. Yeah, I think that, you always know a good carpenter when they know the Australian standards and they can work out, all the little things that need to go into a build.
Yeah, for sure.
The difference between a tiled roof and a sheet roof and all these little things that happen.
Yeah.
That you need to be aware of, what your tie downs are going to be, and
Yeah.
all these little things.
Bracing plans, there's a lot to the framing structural side. And to be honest, anyone could put a nail bag on now and be a carpenter. That's how it is, without studying it.
The essence is missing a little bit. Especially with cut frames and trusses. It's essentially putting a Meccano set together, but it's way more than that.
Yeah.
Yes, a piece of paper can tell you what supposedly works, but you've also got to be able to make informed decisions and beef things up if need be. And it doesn't always work out to the plans.
No, that's right.
Sometimes.
No, that's right. So
one of the questions I haven't asked you is, how do we get more people into construction?
I would say incentives, but I know the apprentices do get a bit of incentive now with tools and stuff, but
A new one just came through, 10 grand, I think it is,
10K.
for apprentices. Yep.
I would piss that up the wall.
I think Albo just released it for tools.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Look, I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but that's good. But wow, yeah,
But that was in when I was an apprentice. You'd get $1,800 at the end of your first year.
Yeah.
I think it was $1,500, and you get signed off and you get $2,500.
Yeah.
All that for me went straight on the tools.
Yes.
And I did buy a TV in there.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I had a deal with my old boss where any overtime I did, he'd pay for my tools. I never got paid money for it.
Yeah.
And I'd rather that because I accumulated all the tools.
Yeah.
So, but what was the question again?
How do we get more young people or more people into construction?
I'd say helping the employer. Yeah, the government should be helping. I know they do give like a incentive to hire an apprentice.
Yeah.
I had that on my last apprentice, but it didn't do anything.
No, it didn't do it. It covers their fees for tech and that's about it.
Yeah. So
And I usually pay, I try to make it as easy as possible for them.
yeah.
Pay for their tech fees.
Yeah, probably just a bit more incentive for them to start, but also a bit more education around it as well. Like it's really enjoyable. If you like being outside, you're going to love construction. Doesn't matter what it is because it's not.
You're good at sport.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's that team environment.
It's that environment, but it's also when you get on site and you get around all the boys or girls, and we're all the same. You know, we might swear, we might do this, you're a bit more relaxed than school. You know, so definitely, I'd say just come and have a go, and you'll probably love it. Yeah, just being outside with everyone.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you've ever received, Chris?
The best advice I've ever received.
Best advice.
There's a couple. One was you'll never be able to change the way someone thinks about you, because I was very, very big on what people used to think about me, and I realised I can't change that. So I let go of everything to do with whatever that had. And another one was I wouldn't say advice, but it was something I learnt off Mark Boris actually, on one of his, and it was you probably heard it with Kerry Packer, and Mark Boris was selling his business to Consolidated Media, being Kerry Packer, and they did all the due diligence. They did months of work to try and find a sum. They couldn't talk to each other, and then they had a meeting in Kerry's office the day that they were meant to pay and say, "Yeah, the business is yours." And apparently, quote unquote, Mark sat down and said, and Kerry said to him, "What business are you in?" And he said, "What do you mean? You don't fucking know. You just did all this due diligence, but it's home loan business." And he goes, no, what business are you in? And then Mark said, "I'm stumped," but Kerry said, "I'll give you the answer. You're in the business of hopes and dreams because you're giving people mortgages." So I take that as I'm giving people a lifestyle. I'm giving people more than a home. I'm creating something for them. So not advice, but it's something that sticks with me to say there's more to it than money. There's more to it than anything else other than making people, giving them what they want, where they can have their kids. Their kids can grow up in these houses. That sticks with me. So.
And it seems like you take that responsibility very seriously.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, I do. I want them to see I had memories in my homes. I'm sure everybody has memories when they were kids in homes where you don't realise what they're built of because they're homes. You don't realise behind the gyprock there's timber or brickwork, where to me it's more than timber and brickwork,
Yeah, memories.
Memories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we want to give. We want to give memories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really like that, dude. You've got me. I'm speechless.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's what it is, yeah.
Custom build or renovation, which do you prefer?
Custom build. Yeah.
Custom build.
Yeah, renovation's always a headache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Nothing's plumb, nothing's square, nothing's
No,
level.
no, that's
Always
right.
marrying into something else that's not 100%.
Yeah. Good outcome at the end, but yeah, custom build.
So knock down, rebuild.
Yeah, actually cheaper, to be honest, as well.
It's contentious, that one. It's contentious. But yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheaper on the mental capacity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Who should I get on the podcast? Who do you have a recommendation?
Yeah. Neil Hipwell from Future Flip.
I definitely want to get him on,
Yeah,
100%.
he's a big inspiration. Yeah. Never talked to him, never done nothing, but that's mentor right there.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got such a great story.
Oh, mate, just what he's done. Yeah. Like the age, I'm very similar, I think, because we both left school about the same time, as in he's older than me, but I mean that era and what he got into. Definitely, he's chippy. He does his own work back then. Yeah, very much.
I love that he shares so much on social media, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's cool seeing where he came from to where he is now.
Yeah, for sure.
And I love that he's still now on the tools, pouring concrete,
Yeah.
building frames.
Oh, yeah. And the stuff he's doing is amazing, Cantilevered concrete. It's great.
He's always pushing the boundaries further and further and further.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just sick.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, him.
Have you driven past his house in Gugong? I mean, not Gugong.
Gerringong, yeah.
Gerringong?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hire it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought about it, but it was,
I want to get a group of people together and do that. For sure.
let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're on the final stretch here. Where can people follow Ontop Homes or get in touch with you or check out your projects? Give us
Social media
Yep.
on Ontop Homes on Instagram or our website,
Yep.
www.ontophomes.com.au.
And best way to get in touch with you to build a new home is
Email,
email.
yeah, literally email because they're on my phone.
Yep.
And then I'll call you.
Yep. Get
Pretty
in touch.
quickly. Yep. Even Instagram. Just send me a message.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. If a young builder's listening to this and he wants to start their own building company one day, what do you hope that they'll take away from this chat?
If I can do it, mate, anyone can do it. You know, I'm a nobody. Just get into it. Give it your go. You know, if you're going to do it though, have a go.
Yeah, perfect. I think we've got to cap it there, mate. Thank you so much for your time. Really
Thanks for having me, mate.
Awesome. That was sick, dude. Well done.
Mad.
That was fucking so
Yeah, that was
good.
bad. Yeah.